Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Kickstart with Kayla. I'm your host Kayla Farner, and I am so excited that you are here with me this week. If you haven't connected with me already, be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Kickstart with Kayla, and feel free to email me at kickstartwithkayla@gmail.com. I'll be quite honest, guys, I am exhausted. I'm just so mentally and physically exhausted, and I think it's because I'm coming out of a really stressful week when it comes to exams and presentations. Like, reminder, I am a college student. So we're getting into the bulk of finals and stuff like that. And so I had mentioned before that there are so many times when I'm trying to come up with what to talk about, I pray about it throughout the week. And honestly, I was doing that this week and nothing was coming to mind. And I finally just kind of realized, like, Kayla, you've had a lot of distractions going on in your life right now. Why don't you talk about that? And I think you probably have a lot of distractions in your life too. Don't we all? We live in a broken world filled with many things that are destined to draw us away from God, right? So I do want to kind of go into that. This is going to be very casual. Like, guys, I'm literally laying in bed right now. We're recording this. Um, I just, I'm just like so checked out when it comes to school right now. It's not even funny. But anyways, I love doing this, and so obviously I'm going to dedicate time to this. Something I'm committed to. But one thing I've noticed this week is the days where I've looked at my calendar and I've just seen event after event, due date after due date, all building up at the same time and questioning, how am I going to get through this day? All I tend to focus on are the distractions, on the things that are filling in the gaps of my day, instead of saying, okay, how can I control this? One thing my mom has always told me when I've gotten into these phases is to always look at your priorities. Prioritize what is due first and go down the line. Prioritize, prioritize. Shouldn't we be doing that in our daily lives? Determining what is the priority today. This is my priority, and I've come to realize this. My priority for every day is making sure that I am checking in with God, starting my day with God, talking to Him throughout the day. So much easier said than done, but it has definitely become a habit of mine to wake up, grab my Bible, and do my devotion for the day. Because I've noticed if I don't do it, like, my day's kind of thrown off. If I don't have Jesus in my life one day, like, I don't choose to talk to Him and read my Bible, like, my day is completely thrown off. I feel like a different person. But it makes me wonder, if you are a busy person and you're not trying to incorporate God into your life, like, I want to know how your daily life is. Do you feel really drained? Are you stressed out a lot? I think in general, it's so important to just do a body scan and just determine, okay, how am I feeling right now? What's going on in my life that is providing me stress? And I really identifying the why behind it all. I think it's so important that when you're in those times of stress to just stop, pause, say, okay, what am I feeling right now? An emotion, by the way, it's just a chemical reaction that only lasts for about 90 seconds. The more you dwell on it, the longer that chemical reaction lasts. So this helps with that. Recognizing, okay, I'm feeling stressed. Yep, I'm feeling stressed. Let's just keep going. How can I combat this stress? Let me write down everything I have going on. Okay, there's actually a lot more gaps in my day than I thought. Well, I can really shorten this time period out. I know if I wake up just a little bit earlier, I'll feel a little bit less stressed. And finding those holes that you can provide some sense of peace into it. I know for me, one of those things is I take 30 to 40 extra minutes of my morning routine to just read my Bible and talk to God. And that helps me a lot. But it's going to be different for everybody else. I want you to understand too that these distractions are something that can be considered detrimental, something that may cause you to just draw farther and farther away from God. Maybe it is your tests, or maybe it's a relationship or hobbies you choose to engage in. We all have that one thing that we struggle to give to God because in the moment it feels so good. I know one thing about me is I work really well under pressure, but it causes so much extra stress. And it's like I can tell myself, like, I got it. Like, I can do it. It's fine. Like, just a few hours, I got this. But it's like, Kayla, have you even talked to God about any of this? I saw a video. This episode is low key all over the place. I saw this video where it was like, if you're about to go tell somebody your problems, first you need to ask yourself if you've told God about it first. And if you haven't, talk to him first before you go share it with other people. Because God has a godly perspective and us humans do not. That's just something to keep in mind, something I've been really trying to do. Um, but what I was saying when it comes to distractions, specifically worldly distractions, they can easily consume your life and fill, quote unquote, fill the holes that are in your life that you're searching for fulfillment. And that's really easy to do. It's kind of it's kind of like the antagonists when that bind to receptors. Sorry, this is so nerdy. But basically there's these things called agonists and antagonists, and they can bind to different receptors, so then it'll basically the effect that that neurotransmitter's supposed to have, it won't happen. And an agonist is one that mimics it, and an antagonist is one that blocks it. It's almost like, for example, let's take drinking. You take your cup, whatever drink you have, and you're like, "Oh, this is gonna make me so happy today." And you're basically trying to mimic that feeling of joy. That's your agonist. And in the moment, you're feeling it, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm happy. Like, life is great. Maybe I should just have another one. Wait, I feel so good still. Maybe I should keep having another." Oh, wait, shots? Yes, okay, I'll take some shots t it just keeps going, and then the next thing you know, you're waking up the next morning, and you feel like crap. That's basically an agonist, where it mimics the biological response of the actual neurotransmitter. Um, but what that reminds me of is that we find there's a really big bug flying in my room. Um we have these gaps. We have these holes that we want to fill, and we have these desires that we're like, I want to feel really happy today. I want to have a good day. How am I going to do that? And we try to search for the right things in the wrong places. Yeah, it might be really nice if you stay busy. You have stuff to do, but how's that affecting you mentally? Do you have time to rest? Are you taking time out of your day for yourself? Yeah, drinking can be really fun in the moment and you may be having a blast that day, but the next morning, are you gonna be waking up with a massive headache? You gonna be vomiting once the night ends? Or maybe when you're hearing all this tea or gossip about somebody, oh my gosh, it's so juicy because you know this secret information that not a lot of people know, and this is so exciting. You just want to learn more and you start asking more and more questions. But is that just going to leave you feeling guilty in the end? There's so many things that we perceive as fun and good, but we don't like to take into account the effects, the ripple effects that can happen in our lives. And keep in mind, this talk is coming from a stance where I'm needing to hear this for myself too. Don't think I believe I'm like higher than anyone else. No, we are all equal. We are all sinners. But I think it's just some great food for thought. I've seen time after time again where people choose to go for the worldly desires over the things God has provided for us, and just seeing how time after time again it causes pain, emotional pain, confusion, distraught, stress. And it has drawn such a clear line between the fruits that the world tells us is good and that we should bear, and the fruits that God has given us that we should bear. So evident. I really like this picture of that I saw, I think on TikTok somewhere, and I mentioned this in a sermon I did a few years ago. It's a cartoon and it's of Jesus and this guy. We're going to say it's you, me and Jesus walking together, and we're on this path and there's a fork in the road and there's a sign that says fun path. And we're like, fun path? Heck yeah. I'm going to go down that. That seems awesome. And Jesus is like, okay, but I'm going to be waiting here for you. And you're like, all right, peace. See you later. You go down this fun path, and wow, was that sign right? There are so many things that are causing you to have a blast. Like you're having the time of your life. Oh my gosh, like everyone's offering you these things that they tell you, like, it's gonna make you feel so good. And you try and you're like, heck yeah, I feel so good. And then you keep going down the path because you think this is what fulfillment is. This is fulfilling me. And then you hit a crossroads. You kind of look behind you and you're like, wait, I'm by myself. Wait, I don't feel right. I don't even feel like myself anymore. Those things those people gave me earlier in the past, I threw it up. Those people I thought were my friends, they're not. They're talking crap about me right now. I'm lonely. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where I can find this sort of fulfillment anymore. I can't go down this path anymore. I just, this isn't me. You turn around, you go down the path back to where Jesus was waiting on you. You're like, "What? Jesus, wait, you're still here for me? I've been down that path for a while now. I thought you would have left." He's all set up with a tent. He's roasting marshmallows. He's like, "Of course not. I waited for you. I'm here." He'd grab his hand and continue walking down. I really love that picture because it shows that two things. One, it shows that God gives us the free will to experiment is the word. I don't know. To experiment with different things that the world offers. He doesn't fully, if we want to go down that path, he's not going to stop us unless there's a specific thing that he's like, no, I need to protect you from this thing. You're not going down this path. But that's where the beautiful gift of free will comes in. We have the free will to go see things, but when we go test things from the world ourselves, we do experience the consequence. And I like to call that personally a learning opportunity. But two, Jesus waits for you. He knows you're down that path. He's watching you from afar. He's seeing you doing the things you're doing. But whenever you're ready, he's going to be waiting for you. And he's not just going to be waiting for you. He's going to be excited to see you. It doesn't matter what sins you did down that path. It doesn't matter. You came back to him. That's what he really loves. This reminds me actually of a Bible story. Let's dive into that. This reminds me of the story of the prodigal son in Luke chapter 15. Basically, let's just read it in case you haven't heard it before. Then he said, "There was once a man who had 2 sons," verse 11. The younger said to his father, "Father, I want right now what's coming to me." So the father divided the property between them. Wasn't long before the younger son packed his bags and left for a distant country. There, undisciplined and dissipated, he wasted everything he had. After he had gone through all his money, there was a bad famine all through that country, and he began to feel it. He signed on with a citizen there who assigned him to his fields to slop the pigs. He was so hungry he would have eaten the corn cobs in the pig slop, but no one would give him any. That brought him to his senses. He said, "All those farm hands working for my father sit down at 3 meals a day, and here I am starving to death. I'm going back to my father. I'll say to him, 'Father, I've sinned against God. I've sinned before you. I don't deserve to be called your son. Take me on as a hired hand.'" He got right up and went home to his father. When he was still a long way off, his father saw him. His heart pounding, he ran out, embraced him, and kissed him. The son started his speech. "Father, I've sinned against God. I've sinned before you. I don't deserve to be called your son ever again." But the father wasn't listening. He was calling to the servants, "Quick, bring a clean set of clothes and dress him. Put the family ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Then get a prize-winning heifer and roast it. We're going to feast. We're going to have a wonderful time. My son is here, given up for dead and now alive, given up for lost and now found." And they began to have a wonderful time. Isn't this us? Isn't this us where we go off on our own and we indulge in the world and we feel like this is the best thing for us, but we're starving. And you don't realize just how hungry you are until you start feeling your stomach rumble and realize, shoot, I should probably eat something. But you think you're so far gone that there is nothing for you to feast on. But that's okay. I think the hardest step is to just turn back. And I want you to remember, if you are in that place, you are never, ever too far gone for God. If you just say that yes and you turn back to Him, He will be so excited, will embrace you fully with open arms. You could tell him, "God, I've sinned. I don't deserve it. It's okay. You're here now. Let's celebrate. My child, you are my child, and I am so happy you are here with me, that you have chosen to come back to me. Let's celebrate." Remember, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted. What that means, when you are full in sin, when you are focused on the world, God is near you. He's just waiting. He's just waiting on that moment for you to decide, I don't want this anymore. He's waiting for you as you are on that path of fun to just turn around and realize, I'm broken. This path, this isn't fulfilling. None of this is. I want to find true fulfillment that can only be found in God. I've heard so many times when people have been broken, they're at rock bottom, they don't know what to do anymore. And what changed them is that they just made that one small step to God. This is typically when we find people praying the most, is when they just feel hopeless. Isn't that interesting? You do understand when you are broken and you're praying to God, that's a cry for help. That's just one step. And that's awesome. That's progress. You're calling for help. And it says in the Bible that God hears our cries and He responds. Just simply talking to God out loud. You could just even be saying, "God, what is my life right now? Why are you putting me through this?" It's okay to question Him. It's okay to get mad at Him. Remember, He knows you're going to. And just taking that one little step. Maybe even adding something in that prayer, like, "God, I'm broken. I don't know what to do. I've been surrounded by so many distractions, God. I've been drinking all week, but I still wake up with a headache. I'm putting all of my fulfillment into all these things. I thought I was going to be happy, God. I'm not. God, I thought this one relationship would make me so happy, that this would be my person, that this would be the one, but they've been getting me into a lot of things that I don't want to do anymore. Just acknowledging that I'm struggling with this sin, God, and I can't bear this weight alone. That's all you need to say. God hears that cry. God understands there are distractions in this world. He knows that there's evil throughout this world, that the enemy roams this world, and he wants to save you. He's preparing your party right now, your coming home party. He is. He's just waiting on it. He's so excited. He wants to work in your life. You just have to let him. When you turn to God, it's not going to be pretty all the time. Everyone still struggles. Again, everyone's still a sinner. This past year in college, I really did struggle with sin. It really drew me away from God. I often questioned why was I doing the things that I did. And finally, I just kind of realized, Kayla, you're at a point where you are living a double life. You're saying all these things, but are your actions really reflecting that? And I just finally called out to God and said, God, look, I'm reading my Bible almost every day. No, I'm not going to church, but I do have my Bible on me. But I'm doing a lot of things that you called me not to do. And I want to get out of it. Fortunately, this semester's been a lot better. Um, I've been consistently going to church. I actually read my Bible and don't just check it off of a list. I talk to God all the time. And I think the beauty in that is that when you do have those really hard moments, they don't seem so hard. There's a sense of peace that kind of revolves around the situation that seems like it can't be diminished. Because that's the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit lives inside of us. I've noticed that when certain sins are present in my life, it's easier for me to decline. It's easier for me to understand where my limit is. It's easier for me to find ways where I can still have fun, but make sure that I am still being fulfilled in the right ways, not finding fulfillment in the world, in the desires that our world pressure you into indulging in. It's a work in progress, isn't it for all? But I think when you sort of realize that I'm never too far from God, I can always turn back. He's waiting on me to turn back. He wants me to open up to him about what I've been struggling with, and he wants to respond. Your outlook on life is a little bit better. I love talking about this stuff, so if you are struggling with anything in particular and need somebody to just talk to about it, one, like I said, talk to God first, but two, like seriously, you can always message me, because I want people to, it's obviously, I'm, as a servant of God, like it is one thing I so strongly want is for people to turn to God. I can't do that though, but I can help you along the way and be a support. Um, but yeah, I also just want to end by saying that if you are in a really stressful time right now, you have a lot on your plate, you're struggling with things that you don't really know how to get out of, that I pray that God just hears those cries, that you feel the courage to just say out loud, like, God, I need you. God, this weight that I am carrying, I can't take it on my own, God. God, help me carry this. I just pray that whatever you may going through, that that it too shall pass, that you will come out of it as a stronger person. You will come out of it as a more faithful servant to God, that you are running down this path that you believe is fulfillment. I pray that you turn around and you find Jesus, that you enter into that coming home party that God has planned for you. He will not be mad. He is slow to anger. Feel that embrace. I just pray that one day, that if you haven't already, that you will feel the presence and the embrace of God, and realize that the fulfillment that you have been trying to find in all of those gaps can truly only be found in your Savior and your Creator. Amen. I didn't realize I was going to pray. But anyways, guys, yeah, hope kickstart figuring out distractions. The best way to put it. I'll see you guys next week. And happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. See y'all later. Bye.